everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm going to show you how to do the twisted ribbon technique. Okay, we're going to make two cards. So for the first one, I'm going to use livelaughwoof and some papers from Cake Day and mix-in papers. Okay, so you'll need a piece of cardstock cut at 1 5/8 by 5, and I'm making some tick marks at 1/2 inch intervals down both sides of this piece of cardstock. Okay, then you'll need some pattern paper. This is Cake Day, and I'm cutting 1/2 inch strips, and then I'm going to cut each of those at 2.5 inches. So you need 5 of one pattern and 6 of another, but I'm just cutting 6 of both of them. Okay, so now I've got the mix-ins, and I'm going to do the same thing, 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to cut them in 2.5 inch lengths. So I'm going to cut 6 of those. Okay, so you start out by working in diagonals, all right? So I'm just putting everything down with tape runner, and I'm starting with that top corner and putting the top of my 1/2 inch strip at the corner, and then the right side I'm taking it down to the second tick mark. And then for the next strip, I leave a space in between and then put my strip at a diagonal between the next 2 tick marks, and then leave a space and set it between the next 2, all at a diagonal all the way down this strip, and then end with that bottom piece at the lower right corner. Okay, then I take my other pattern and I place the base of it at the base of that first strip, and then the top of it goes off the corner of the right side. And then I take the next strip and go in between the 2 strips of diagonal. Okay, so lay it down in between, and then skip and lay the next. And then for the bottom, I take the top of that strip and put it on the bottom left corner and let it hang off the edge, and then place it at a diagonal. And then you just flip it over and trim off all the excess. I'm going to make 2 cards so you see this technique demonstrated again with other colors. All right, so you just trim everything off, and there's your twisted ribbon. Okay, let's make a card with this. So I'm going to cut a panel of white daisy. I started out cutting it at 3 by 4, but then I decided that I wanted it to be narrower, so it's 2 3/4 by 4. And I'm going to stamp a background and create a pattern paper out of this. And I have these little paw prints, and I'm just going to randomly stamp them in Sundance all over this panel. And then my sentiment, I'm going to stamp in intense black, and it says World's Best Paw Parent. So cute. Okay. And then I'm going to take my little puppy, and I'm going to stamp him out in intense black on white daisy, and then off camera I'll die cut him with the coordinating die cut. Okay, so these are Close to My Heart watercolor pencils, and I'm not going to use water with them. I'm just going to use them like colored pencils, and I'm going to color in my little puppy. So I'll do that off camera. Okay, so he's ready to go. So my base for my card is going to be in sapphire, so I'm cutting that at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I'm going to mat my 2 panels with Sundance, with the dark side of Sundance. All right, so this is kind of a little cheat. If you can't remember the dimensions of your panel, you place it down, and I just want a tiny little border, so I'm adhering it to the Sundance, and then I'm trimming around the edges to leave that little tiny border. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my twisted ribbon panel. So So we'll put that down, and then I'll just trim around the edges there. Okay, so we'll bring in a card base and we'll assemble our card really quick. So I'm just going to put everything down with Tombow tape runner. This is the AirTouch tape runner. I highly recommend it. It's really easy to work with. And then I'll just place that twisted ribbon border down. And then I'm going to pop this sentiment panel with thin foam tape. So you can use this technique for the twisted ribbon to create borders for scrapbook pages as well. Just do it, instead of 5 inches high, you can do a 11.5-inch one. And I'll add my little puppy, and for the finishing touch, I'm going to use some of these Sundance colored dots from the Cake Day Dots collection. And there's my finished card. Super cute. Simple, but it looks complicated. Really easy to do too. Okay, so we'll do another card. So this one's going to be a little bit more fancy. So I'm going to use papers from Lovestory. So my base is going to be this floral pattern. So I'm cutting it first just to maximize the usage of my pattern paper here. And then I have some gold foil paper. I've got the stickers from Lovestory, and then I've got a Picture My Life card as well. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to cut strips at 1/2 inch by 2.5 inches. So I'm going to cut 5 of those, and then the flip side of this Lovestory paper is this black with some dots pattern. So I'm going to cut 6 of those at 1/2 inch by 2.5 inches. And then my twisted ribbon is going to be on White Daisy. Okay, so I've already made my tick marks on the one part of it, so I'm doing it on the bottom at 1/2 inch intervals there, and then we're ready to start building our twisted ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to put this gold foil down, starting with that top corner on the left, and then take it down to the second tick mark. Then I'm going to skip a space and then put the next one down at a diagonal between the tick marks, and just go all the way down that strip of cardstock. And then I'll take my black and then take it from the base of that first diagonal up to the upper right corner and let it go off the edge of the card. And then take all the other ones at a diagonal. So start in between and then take it to the next one up and place it in between. And then the bottom one, you take the top of it off the lower left corner and then take it at a diagonal. Flip it over and trim off all the excess. Looks complicated, but it's super easy. Okay, so now we can build a quick card. So I'm deciding how to mat my twisted ribbon, and I think I'm just going to do it on White Daisy because it'll pop a little bit better on that black floral background. Okay, so we'll just trim around the edges there. And then my PML card, it's a 3x4 PML, and I thought I was going to use it at 3 inches, but then it was covering up too much of the twisted ribbon, so I trimmed that down to 2 3/4. And then I'm going to mat that on gold foil. And I'm doing the same thing, just leaving a tiny little border of gold foil around the edges. So I'm going to do the same card design. And then I'm going to bring in my sentiment. This is from the In Full Bloom card making stamp set, and it says Cheers to New Beginnings. And I'm going to stamp that in intense black on White Daisy. And then I'll trim that out and mat it on gold foil as well. Okay, Now we'll just build our card really quick with Tombow tape runner. Place that Love Story floral down, and then we'll add our twisted ribbon border. And then we'll pop the PML with thin foam tape. And then I'll add my sentiment. And then I'm going to use one of these floral stickers from the Love Story stickers. Quick and easy. And then off screen, I'll add some gold gems on that lower right corner. Super cute. So all these supplies are currently available in my online store. I'll make a list with links in the description below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And then you'll be able to find all of my videos. And thanks for watching.